say the Pens do win against the Islanders, do you believe this Penguins team has it in them to make a run? And what would they need to do to win the Stanley Cup? Looking at everything involved.
Ooh. Well, I think you're right. I think they would need to get at least good goaltending. Like, I don't think you can win multiple series with inconsistent goaltending. So they would have to have good goaltending. I think their stars would have to shine. Like, Malkin would have to show up. Like, this guy would have to be one of the best players on the ice when he steps foot on the ice.
Yeah.
Period. And I think their depth will have to, contribute at key moments, especially obviously defensively. I think that fourth line's pretty key defensively with what we'll see from them. And when you look at the second round, I think Boston would be the more difficult matchup, in my personal opinion. Just the way that Boston plays them, it seems like they give them a more difficult time. I think that it's because partly the top lines are a little bit more, I think Bergeron and Crosby, like, it's pretty much a draw. Like, those first lines kind of are a stalemate. Boston has good skill, good toughness. It just seems like Boston's always kind of a tough time for Pittsburgh. But when I've watched them play Washington this year, I know I've heard different from Caps fans, but man, Pittsburgh is pretty much whooped their, this year. Like, and I think a lot of it has to do with the defense. Like, I just think Pittsburgh just is scoring at will versus Washington. So if Washington were to beat Boston, I would be pretty confident to beat Washington. But if they play Boston, I'd be a little bit more nervous. As for, if it's Toronto or
Final Four. I'll just ask you, because I've been talking about it with a lot of people. What is your perspective on that? But also to the fact that, like, this Penguins team, do you think they would be able to adapt well against teams they haven't played this year, right?
I think so, because they're a veteran team. Like, they're very experienced, especially in the playoffs. But it's so unknown because, like, they haven't played each other at all this year. And, the one thing I will say about the East Division that I don't believe is the case, for a team, let's say it's Toronto, who I believe probably will be coming out of there, is, like, I think that the matchups that the East will face will be much more physical and demanding, which might hurt them come that third matchup. But man, I mean, it's hard not to have confidence in Pittsburgh if they beat Islanders and Boston, or Islanders and Washington. So they could go far. I just don't want to be fully confident, because I've been there before and I've been wrong, but I've also been there before and I've been right. So who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I think they have it. I mean, you look at the top six, so it's like Gensel, Crosby, Russ, like, that's no secret. That's a really good line that they've put together. And then obviously, huge question marks on that second line, right? Zucker, what kind of Zucker are we getting? What kind of Malkin are we getting? And then Kapanen's been good.
Question. That's their biggest question, is their second line, which is weird to say, but like the third line's been playing out of their minds, and we know what the fourth line can bring when everyone's healthy and Tanev should be back. The second line is the X factor, as we've discussed. It mostly comes down to Malkin, but Zucker as well has kind of been, up and down. But Kapanen, like you said, has been really, maybe he's the guy to kind of kickstart everything with his speed.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'll say on top of that is, and people have suggested it, and I'm kind of intrigued by the idea of it, is we've seen sometimes Malkin carry like players on his line. I wonder, because of Malkin's struggles defensively, I wonder if they put like an Aston Reese or a Tanev on his line. Obviously they want that fourth line, but I'm just thinking like, okay, Carter, you don't want to fix what ain't broke, but just throwing a hot take out there. Like, what if they tried Zucker with Carter and McCann?
Honestly,
put like Tanev or Aston Reese in that left wing with Malkin and Kapanen,
Tanev is kind of one of those guys that is a spark, the way he plays. And I think he has enough offensive touch where you wouldn't really be sacrificing a lot.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of breaking up a fourth line that's really solid too. So like another guy that's not playing is Rodriguez, who's had some moments. He could potentially.
But I'm just thinking like even Sevier too. Like I just think Aston Reese, Bluger, Sevier, is that really I don't think you're gonna hurt from that fourth line. Sevier's like good grinder kind of player, and
it should be Tanev there, but
I'm saying hypothetically if you put Tanev with Malkin,
but then who you take it out? Zucker.
Who? Yeah, Zucker I think Zucker, Carter, and McCann would be a fun line.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just throwing hypotheticals, but I'm just thinking.
I know. Well, we've seen Sullivan will do whatever. Like he'll change the lines in like after the first period. Like honestly,
but I'm with you. If the defense can play the way that they've been playing, like which is for me good enough. It's not like amazing or great, but it's like good enough to be like average in the playoffs. And like obviously, as you said, Dumoulin, we know what Letang can do in the playoffs. So it's like that second line and goaltending for me are the two biggest questions.
I will say, like, usually in a Stanley Cup team, like a third defenseman has to be like step up, like above their level of play.
John Marino.
Like, is it going to be Marino? Like, who's it going to be? Like that kind of like X factor, like defenseman.
I swear I'll go completely. The viewers know I will lose my mind if somehow Cody CC becomes the third defenseman X factor for the Penguins in the playoffs. I will lose my mind if this guy scores some kind of clutch goal. It's gonna be a new meme. CC game winner
instead of CC. What are you doing?
Or when CC shorthanded off Seth Jones' ass. But anyways, I guess just to cap that off. So Pittsburgh against the Final Four teams, you think they'd have a shot, or would that be?
They'd have a shot because I know you don't agree with me, but I personally think the East is a much better division, and I think whoever comes out of there is going to be put in a good position to go
the strongest for sure. So
to do well.
So you think Pittsburgh's chances, like I'll put it in this aspect, like in this perspective, do you think Pittsburgh's chances are like more difficult or harder? Like to come out of the East rather than like say if they do come out of the East to go to the Cup final? Like, do you think it's more difficult to come out of the East?
I think so, but I don't know for sure because like we said, we haven't seen them play each other.
Okay, so Pittsburgh versus Colorado or Pittsburgh versus Tampa. What are your thoughts on that? If that happens, is that
be tough.
No chance? Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
No,
I don't think they have no chance because if they make it there, they obviously have a chance.
Oh, of course.
I might not pick them, but like, with the players on this team and all the cups on this team, like I'm not going to rule them out, you know?
Okay. So
I will say this though, Vegas, not the Golden Knights, Vegas with these betting odds have been disrespecting the Penguins the whole year. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Milani, I feel like, and there was still a couple of Pens fans giving me shit because I didn't predict them finishing first. I put the Pens at third. I think that's respectable.
That's
because
fine.
I saw a bunch of people put the Pens at fifth and sixth.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to hear it.
Flyers in first.
I don't want to hear it. Yes, did I have the Caps and Flyers top two? Yes. But I had the Pens 3, I had the Bruins 4, I had the Islanders 5. That's close enough for me in that area.
Usually Pittsburgh's not even really that good in the regular season. Like they're usually like second place in their division.
Bro, that's why I locked them in at 3. I was like, okay, I literally said, I was like, okay, Bruins are going to struggle with injuries early. I thought the top 3 would be exchanging between Capitals, Flyers, Penguins. And then the Flyers were like, nah, we're garbage. And then the Islanders were like,
I'll say this. Don't be surprised if you see Pittsburgh in the finals. Clip that.
Clip it. This guy, hey, this is the man that predicted the Super Bowl. Give him some respect. Come on. All right. Milani, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Guys, go sub up my guy on the Bottom Line View on YouTube. Big inspiration for HTH here. And, BLV, we're taking BLV NHL to a different level. So,
yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Peace.